If you've ever wondered whether you're dealing with burnout, perimenopause, or ADHD, I want you to know something upfront. You're not overthinking it. These three things share so many symptoms that even doctors mix them up. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer way to tell them apart. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how I got confused myself before I figured out what was actually going on. If you appreciate this type of content, gently tap that like button. Let's get into it. Here's the problem. Burnout, perimenopause, and ADHD can all show up looking almost identical. Trouble focusing, irritability over small things, exhaustion that doesn't go away with sleep, feeling like your brain is foggy or slower than it used to be. If you've Googled your symptoms last week, you probably found all three staring back at you, which is not helpful when you just want an answer. I went through this myself a few years ago, back when I was still teaching. All right, let me take you there. I was up most nights around 3 a.m. because we had a dog, Timon, who was blind and had a brain tumor, and he needed to be let outside and watched until he was done. By the time I got back in bed, I was too awake to fall back asleep, so I'd just start my day early instead. I'd get to school around 7:20, and I actually loved that quiet hour before the kids arrived. I'd set up the room, get my computer ready, check my email, go over the day's lesson plans. On the outside, I looked completely on top of things. People asked me all the time how I stayed so organized. But here's what nobody could see. When the bell rang and I heard the hallway fill up with kids, I would feel this heavy wave of dread. Not nervousness, dread. Like it's too soon. I'm not ready. Can we have 10 more minutes? And I felt that same feeling most mornings for months. My first thought was this has to be perimenopause. The irritability, the exhaustion, feeling like I had zero patience left for things that used to be easy, that all lined up with what I'd read. So I started taking supplements to help ease things. And honestly, it did help a little. I felt slightly more even some days, but it didn't fix the actual problem. I was still dreading the bell every single morning. Every day still felt like a struggle, just a slightly quieter one. Quick break. If this is sounding familiar, this is exactly the kind of thing I unpack every week in my newsletter. I go deeper into the nervous system side of what you're feeling and give you one small doable thing to try. You can sign up in the description or the pinned comment below. Okay, back to it. So, if the supplements only helped a little, what was actually going on? This is where I started to reframe it as burnout instead. Not I need to relax more burnout, but the kind where your nervous system has been in a low-grade stress state for so long that your body starts reacting to things. A bell ringing, kids walking in as if they're a bigger threat than what they are. There's actual research on this. A study looking at female school teachers under chronic work stress found measurable physical dysregulation across multiple stress-related systems in the body. Not just feelings of being tired, actual physiological wear from the strain building up over time. Supplements can support your hormones, but they can't undo a nervous system that's been running on high alert for years. That takes an actual change in your environment, not just a change in your body chemistry. For me, that change was moving to a different school. And I want to be clear, I still had deadlines. I still had meetings. The job didn't get easier on paper, but my new environment let me do things at my own pace in a way the old one never did. And that alone took the edge off the dread I used to feel every single morning. That was the real fix, not a supplement, a nervous system that finally got some room to breathe. Now, I know I said this video was about three things, and I want to be honest with you about the third one. A lot of women in this exact situation start to wonder if it's ADHD, especially with focus and overwhelm symptoms. overlapping so much with burnout and perimenopause. For me personally, that was never actually part of the picture. But if you're watching this and focus issues have been part of your life since long before this current stretch, not just something new that showed up alongside the exhaustion, that's worth asking a professional about specifically, rather than assuming it's the same thing as burnout. So here's how I'd actually untangle this for yourself. Ask when it started. If it came on gradually during a genuinely hard season, that points towards burnout. If it's tracking with other changes in your cycle, that points toward perimenopause. And if focus and attention struggles go back years long before any of this, that's the conversation to have about ADHD. They can also overlap, by the way. You don't have to pick just one. And if you want to go deeper on what's actually happening in your body during all of this, I made a video on exactly that. A real step-by-step somatic reset for when your nervous system is stuck in overdrive. You can check it out by clicking right here.